Hello, I am back. Like I went anywhere. I did miss doing a video last night. Um, they are working me to death at work. um, Pretty sure it's a conspiracy. Let's see how hard we can work her before she falls over. Um, no, actually, there's planning for the next fiscal year is happening right now, and being a data person, I'm the person they call on for like, get us this information, so we can make this decision. um, haven't reached the point yet in business where I can say, look, you don't need the data. I have really good intuition. Just ask me, and I'll do it. Yeah, they don't buy that. um, Typically, I come up with the answer ahead of time on an analysis, like I can sense it or see it. But I have to go and kind of go find the data and see if I can show it through data so that they believe me. It's frustrating sometimes. um, so I'm tired, and so I may not make a whole lot of sense tonight. Uh, I'm sure I see like in the videos as it goes later into the week where I just like start wilting more and more. Um, it's late in the evening. Um, I do need to get to bed, but the thing is like I said before, I'm still trying to get past the sticky part where I start self-sabotaging, and it turns into a run of excuses. So it's like, well, I'm tired. Oh, well, I mean, there's so much going on at work. Of course, I need to take a break or give myself some time alone. But the thing with that is that every time I start to reach the sticky point, stuff gets really busy at work. It's like clockwork. It always happens. So this is like one of those things that where, again, I know, I mean, not just for myself, but a lot of people, when they're trying to overcome their fears and stuff, they'll keep hitting the same blocks over and over, and it'll be the same thing that stops them from pushing through them. Because they'll be like, oh, it's, what am I going to do? What can you do? And really, I mean, you have to fill it out for yourself because, um, like, you have to make sure you take good care of yourself. Like, I am getting tired, and yes, I need to be keeping aware of balance. Like, make sure I get enough rest, and and I do have time for myself. But um, this actually plays on my Saturn in Leo. So Saturn is the restrictor, or the where you have to have discipline, or what you have to master. It's what you basically. I mean, you spend your life mastering this area of your chart. And Leo is the sign of playfulness, and Leo the lion, the creative child, the artist, the actress, the actor, and it's completely like all things fun. It's like when you go out partying with your friends, you're like woo, or you take risks. Anything that you take risks in, like walking a tightrope over the Grand Canyon would be like a very fifth house and Leo go together. Um, Situation. And so when you have Saturn in there, who's the disciplinary, the teacher, um, the not fun guy, you're like, oh, okay, you need to do your work, you need to take care of your responsibilities, is in that house of taking risks and having fun. Guess what? It's not. It's not fun. Uh, but it means that I have to work really hard at having fun or enjoying myself, and this is a part of that. So, and Saturn is also fear. And I'm working through my fears, right? So this is all that cluster, that whole knot of stuff that seems like they're not connected, are indeed connected. So yeah, so it's like I was coming home tonight, and I was just like, I'm gonna have to do a video, even if it's short, even if it's horrible, because I have got to keep trying and going. Now, why all those things happen? I mean, I haven't figured out all of the why those connections happen. I think at work, I think the reason I start getting super busy is it's just the timing. Like um, Jupiter, which is the expander, Santa Claus or whatever, the one who gives presents and blessings, and it can also be too much. It can be something in your chart that you do way too much, because you have a lot of luck in that area. So it's like you can do it and keep doing it and doing it, and you don't really have someone slapping you on the wrist to stop doing it, because like that's the place where you get to be ridiculous. um, so that planet, Jupiter expanding, is going over, or has just gone over, my natal Saturn, the restrictor. So when you have something that small and tight, and you have something that big and expansive, and they're sitting one on top of each other, there's going to be like some, like, you know, my, God, I can't even talk, I'm so tired. My body is like wanting to be like so conservative, and like I must do work. I need to go to bed at this time, and I need to go to work at this time, and I need to make sure I take care of my responsibilities, and fun can come later. I mean, my ability to put off gratification and fun is a bit severe. Like I mean, I can go years where I'm just like head, nose down to the grindstone, taking care of my responsibilities and just absolutely not doing anything nice or fun or that feels good for myself. And so part of my mastery, or where I'm trying to discipline, is in opening more into that part of life, understanding that it's not all work. There does need to be playtime. I'm horrible at it. I'm really terrible at it. And so like this is like stuff like doing the blog is a creative thing. It's fun for me. Doing these videos, I actually really enjoy them. I look forward to them even when I have moments where I'm like, I feel like I'm going to almost throw up because I'm just like, I don't know what to say. But you see how I have to schedule it in, or I have to make myself do it. Some people have to make themselves go to work, and some people have to make themselves, take care of bills and things like that, right? That's where they struggle. And here I am, like, okay, I have to do something fun for myself. And everyone's like, oh, poor baby. I'm like, no, you don't understand. Excuse me. Yeah, so this is all connected, and I think it's because Jupiter, the expander, is going over my natal. So like, and I can feel it in my solar plexus, the sun area. Leo and fifth house also rule the sun, which does connect to your solar plexus, your power area. And I can feel that like wanting to just like open, and that's how you shine. So like your sun sign is where you shine. That's where that solar plexus opens. So like when you're being your sun sign, and it's something you grow into in your life, as you grow into it and you become more of who you are, or who you're meant to be, the personality you're meant to be during this life, you will feel it. You're like something like it's almost like you have a corset deep inside of you, and it's like that starts to open up, and it's like it lets your spirit through, it lets your light through. And that's where like people start shining. Like they look like they're glowing. You can tell when someone's got their light on, or like when they're having a moment where they're just like everything's just working for them and flowing. That restricted part or tightened part is starting to shine, and you can see an actual difference in, especially if you're sensitive energetically, you can see a change in the person's glow. You can see an actual light start to emanate from them, depending on how strong and how much is being able to get through. So I had that going on. So like you become more visible as well. So if previously you were invisible because maybe your solar power plexus was shut down in childhood or something, and so a lot of people who feel like they're invisible, that's what's happening. You've turned off your light. You're trying to like, for whatever reason, maybe to protect yourself or to stay out of harm's way. You've closed down your light, your corset. And I did have that growing up. I mean, I did close that down. I did want to be invisible. I did not want to draw attention to me. That was just such a not smart thing to do. But with Jupiter transiting, like moving across my natal, or the location where my natal Saturn was when I was born, it's trying to push, like it's pushing on my worst fears. At the same time, it's like trying to like pop me open so that like that sun can come through. And I am not accustomed to having that really good solar energy flowing through me openly because of my fears and everything. So there's like this fight in me where I'm just like, I don't want, I'm terrified, you know, like the more you're scared you get, the tighter you hold on. And Jupiter is just like, you need to open this bitch up. And it's literally like giving birth. And in fact, Leo in the 5th house rule children, creativity, birth, giving birth to new things. And I struggled exactly like this even during my labor with my son. So so that happens, and it starts to crack open that solar plexus area, and my light starts to come through stronger, and I suddenly become visible, and suddenly where I'm working, suddenly people are like, oh Jen, can you help me with this? Oh Jen, can you? Suddenly they're like aware that I exist, right? And then I'm getting more attention, and it comes in the form of work. So that's my current hypothesis or guess for why it occurs. So I start to open, I start to shine, I start to put myself out there, and then I get slammed at work. Typically, and I mean, we cycle through our stuff over and over. So if you mess it up the first time, life will give you plenty of opportunities to try it again different. It's just the more that you keep doing it the same way and keep messing up the same way, the harder it becomes to recognize it and to break it. So, like, I wish I would have known stuff like this when I was younger, because I would have been even more on top of my shit. I would have been like, nope, we're busting out of this cycle right now. I am not letting this grow old on me. Yeah, so if I always use the excuse that, oh, work's getting really busy right now, so therefore I'm going to have to put aside fun, and like, oh, I can't do a blog post tonight, oh, I can't do this because I need to get rest because I have work tomorrow and stuff's busy at work. If I were to keep doing that, I would never get past this blockage or this point in my growth my whole life. I could go all the way to my grave never making it, because like it never clicked in my mind to like, oh wait, this is a pattern, this is always happening. And instead of saying like, oh, why is this happening to me? I mean, which I've done plenty of. God. But when I got bored, I get bored. When I have done something for the 100th time and I can recognize it or see it, I start getting very frustrated and grumpy and like, oh my god, I can't do this again. This is just driving me insane. And that's actually the trigger or catalyst that motivates me, so that when I see that cycle come up again, I'm like, okay, I know where I'm at. I know what's happening. I am not doing the same thing I did last time. I don't know what to do different, but it's going to be something different than before. Eventually I succeed. It may take 100 times, but eventually I find something that squeezes me through the block, or where I mess myself up. And so this is one of them, and I only recently figured this block out. And so since the energies are all ramped up for me to try it again, like, okay, we've got your back, we're going to help you push through this, and I want to take advantage of it. And that's really like all that we can do. Like, we have these opportunities that come up, and you either take advantage of the opportunities when they're presented to like try it different, or to push like maybe a little bit harder to get a little bit further than you did before the opportunity like starts to fade away again. And once it fades away, if you didn't try to get past it more, then you're back where you were before. And if you do, you may feel like you're starting to slide back a little once that opportunity or the pressure pulls away. But you did make progress, and so the next time it comes around, you will be able to push like that much further. It's definitely cycles within cycles within cycles within cycles. Anyways, also what happens when I get tired is I ramble and talk, and it's hard for me to keep focused and keep on topic. They're finding this at work as well. I'm like, hey, I'm tired. If you want me to not send you novels in my status reports and stuff, then you need to let me go get some sleep. Yeah, so this is something I've just recently in the last few years have realized or figured out, and that it takes me a little bit to remember as it's occurring again. Um, but yeah, work's going to get busy at the exact same time that I'm starting to open up and put myself out there and overcome my fears. And so, yes, I'm tired. Yes, I am staying very aware of trying to keep balance to make sure am I eating food? And I have to, I'm in that point or phase at the moment where I'm like, did I drink water today? I need to go to the bathroom. I need to stop what I'm doing and go to the bathroom. To make sure I'm being aware of my body, taking care of my body and my mind. But also, am I taking care enough the most important things of my responsibilities at work so that doesn't stress me out, because that'll put pressure on me. Personal responsibility, if you haven't figured it out by this point from all my posts and videos, that responsibility is probably one of my biggest hot points. I have to, if I have not taken care of a certain amount of my responsibility at work, like it stresses me. I cannot sleep. I cannot. I definitely can't have fun. But so I have to make sure that I stay on top of it, and that helps me prioritize stuff. Though I'm like, look, I can't be working like 80 hours a week. So, but also a certain amount of work needs to be done. So I just do not mess around when I'm at work. Or try not to. I do take breaks sometimes. But then I keep aware, like, yes, I know it's very busy right now at work, but like at a certain time, I'm like, I'm going home and I'm not taking work home with me. And I get to stop it and push it aside. It doesn't matter if I met all of my deadlines, because I am a human. I have a life outside of work. I need to remember that. And I'm always like the last one out of the building anyways. It's not like someone's like, oh, Jen, she's such a slacker. They're not thinking that. This is definitely all me on my, oh, not all me, but I'm telling you when I'm tired, you guys. But I also must schedule in there the stuff that's important to me, personal things that are important to me, and that go into the realm of creativity and self-expression. The Leo. So exhausted or not from work, busy or not at work, I am going to continue to try to. I have several draft posts sitting on my WordPress account that it's like only get so much in there, and like a bunch of other stuff comes up. But I'm still putting it out there. I'm like, look, motherfucker, I'm getting through this block no matter what it takes. And it's not often that Jupiter comes around. I mean, it takes 12 years for Jupiter to make it all the way around the zodiac. So the next time I'm going to have this particular opportunity, or to this degree, with Jupiter, is going to be 12 years from now. So, I mean, it'll have other opportunities. Like a few years ago, it was, Jupiter was transiting my sun in my natal Jupiter. Oh my God, I don't even want to talk about that. Having, oh my God, having your sun conjunct your Jupiter in your natal chart is hell on earth by itself, because it is so much energy. It is so much just like, oh, and then having the transiting Jupiter just like go like on top of that. It's like two Jupiters and a sun. Like, oh, it's like I'm going to blow up, and there's going to be little pieces of jet all over the place, because it is the most intense thing. I mean, that was absolutely an intense moment for me. Several years ago. And it does not help that, I don't want to get, that gets so technical into astrology, and only an astrologer would even half understand what I'm talking about, so I'm not gonna like leave the conversation and just be talking just to myself. I'm trying to focus on the fact that I'm talking to other people. Yeah, so I mean, this is probably good enough, because I do need to get to bed And it's going to take a while for this to process. Good God, it took, like, the last video that was an hour, it took forever for it to process. And that's just an excuse for me to stay up and goof around when I really should be getting sleep. The other advantage is when I get this tired, my filters and it's harder to be afraid. Because I am just so fucking exhausted and I just don't care anymore. That also plays a part in helping me get past my fear. So I know this is like a rough spot for me, but it's actually all for the better. It's all for my growth. It's all for trying to improve myself, trying to continue growing to be whoever I came here to be, whoever was born here to be. So that's it. That is more than enough. My head feels so foggy right now. Yep. I'm gonna finish my tea, and I'm going to process this. Oh, and I have a couple of more comments that I still need to respond to. I promise you guys, like, when I don't respond right away, it's usually because I'm, like, shit's hitting the fan at work or something. It's pretty much, you pretty much guarantee that that's what just happened. Either that or, I'm emotionally trying to hold it together. But in this instance, it is shit hitting the fan at work. It is cray cray. I totally look forward to people's comments, and I love responding to them as well. So, like, again, these are some fun things. These are fun things that it's like I want to do. They're in the back of my mind. I'm like, oh, I can't wait till I have a moment to just, like, sit down and respond. And then I put it off and put it off and put it off because I don't make stuff that I enjoy a priority, enough of a priority. And I need to knock that shit off. I'm trying. Do you see? Do you see how hard I have to work to... That is the epitome of Saturn in Leo or 5th house. So if you have that in your natal chart, I know you feel me. I know you understand the struggle. And for the rest of you who thinks that it's just like who have no sympathy for those whose, like, job it is or life mastery is to learn how to have fun and to, like, let your hair loose, fuck you. Just fuck you. Because, like, the response about, like, doing those and stuff like that, it's not that I enjoy those. I mean, those are still, I have to work through those as well. So it's kind of like, it's just like everything fun gets taken off my plate. I have nothing to replenish it except nothing. Because then I have to also reach in deep and find strength to work hard to learn how to have fun so I can start getting that feel good replenishing me. But until that happens, or if it's not happening, I have to go completely off of no resources inside of myself except willpower. Which, thank you, 1st house full of Aries in my natal chart. I think that's why I'm still alive. For sheer willpower. Okay, I never know how to end these. It's always awkward, so I'm just going to say goodbye, and I'll see you soon, and take care.